Hello from Bali. This is the podcast Pigeon of Peace, where we do discuss awesome skills of troubleshooters. Watch, listen, and check the description below for the details. Let's talk about comprometation, and let's start with the definition.
Comprometation could occur in several cases. First, you have some information you want to share with me, but suddenly I know that you have been talking to my enemy, or my enemy has the copy of the information. You give him it before the meeting. Second, for example, we have some information system, and I have a role, password, and login, and some other stuff. But suddenly I will notified by someone that under my role, someone has done harmful operations which are unlawful or maybe very dangerous to my company. So comprometation or compromising, this when we couldn't believe to the person, to the information, or to the some roles which could be used in several systems.
Well, maybe before we look into all of the depth of the comprometation and how things could be compromised, we probably may want to look into the actors, because at a certain point of time, we might be thinking that all of the people we interact with might be like a fair players. But again, like behind of this, it could be whether it's a human nature, whether it's organizational flows or even society flows that leads to implicit or explicit comprometation. So when we're dealing with people, what kind of thinking we should have when we speak to someone to make sure we come clear for any of the conversation?
You use the very right word, clear, to be clear, to be transparent. When you deal with people, you could never know how many percentage of the personality is belong to the loyalty. For example, when we talk each with other, we know each other like for 4 years, and we have trustship. But sometimes you will have negotiations with some person, and he or she will say, "Oh, Kamoy, we have a friend in common, and this is Олег Брагинский or Максим Голубь." Would we believe in this? It was several years ago, or maybe even 10. It was a call from someone very important, and this person was saying me, "Come on, I am talking on behalf of such a person," and something like this. And you should do me a favor as a banker. And for sure, I was very worried, and I make a call back to this person, and I was saying, this was communication, and your name was pronounced. Should I believe to this or no? And this person, it was Russian oligarch. He told me, if I will not make your previous call, you could always send this person to some letters. So never believe to anyone. And for me, it was very strange. So this is high official of the Russian Federation. He was trying to lie to me with no reason, just to force me to give him some favors from the bank side. So after this period, I decided that I will always do double check. I wouldn't believe to any person. The same with system. I am quite paranoid, and I use a lot of different tricks. For example, all my data completely archived with the password. And when I start to work, I will just take out several files and work with them, and then I will archive it back. Even during our lectures in School of Troubleshooters, sometimes I go deep into the archive, and I will something extract, and that I will use it. So I do not believe even to myself. There is a Russian movie which has a name like 17th Momentum of the Spring. Is it okay to say?
Yes, that's correct. Moments of Spring.
There was one personage. It's okay to say personage?
Or yes, or character.
Character, yes, thank you. Character. His name was Mueller, and he was telling to this Russian spy Stirlitz, "You couldn't believe to anyone. You could believe just to me." But I'm not sure. I couldn't believe even to myself. Even I could be compromised. I have been working this December, so like 5 months ago, I was working on the project, and suddenly I got a call from the company I help before, and they told me, we are in your region, and they are doing satellite surveillance, and they were saying, after 25 meters after you, there is a drone, and it is following your position. And when I look into the sky, it was completely dark, like 1 hour in the night. Nothing could be not noticeable in the air. But after several minutes, I was taking this call. I was holding the tube, and I asked my colleagues, "Is this drone still going after me?" And they were saying, "Yes, it is still." So I changed my direction, and suddenly, in the middle of the night, instead of going to the hostel, I was going through the whole city in Central Park, something like this. Until I get a call, you are not followed anymore.
Well, this is a funny story, and I do believe at a certain point of time, like we all might be followed by whatever visual or not really visual drones, again, like I put it into the quotes. And maybe we also will look into it from a different aspect of view. When we speak to someone, there is also might be like a cultural or maybe even social element of this. As you rightfully say, sometimes when you speak to people who actually, I would say, like they breathe and live expecting someone will come after them, they will get ready for whatever conversation, even if it's like a casual with the friends. So it's something that I also notice when you speak to people, let's say, for example, from Europe, from US, they would try to say you something, but they like implying like, hey, I would say something, then you have to finish the sentence or finish the thought. And the moment you start thinking like who is blamed for whatever, you actually can blame only one person, you, because literally no one said you nothing specific. So again, like how to deal with such conversations, how to manage this kind of a things when, like you've been told something, but it feels that you did everything by your initiative.
I will tell you a story. It was a pupil of mine in School of Troubleshooters. His name was Sergey, and he was even older than me for 3 or 4 years. And he was going to have a contract between Germans, Ukrainians, Russians, and Indians. And he asked me for assistance, and I have been to several negotiations in Turkey, in Germany, and in India. And then he was heading by himself in a city, Aurville. And he asked me if could I give him some advices, and I told him I have been working in Pakistan and India for a very long time, and I know just 3 rules. First, never drink when you do not open the bottle of water by yourself. Second, never eat on the street. And third, never stay your belongings out of you. I know if maybe the sentence was wrong.
That's correct. Out of sight.
Out of sight. Yes, thank you. Out of sight. And then I forgot about this conversation. And after 3 days, it was a call from Sergey, and he was very panicking voice, and he was saying, "Oleg, I don't know what to do. I just gone to take a shower, and when I back, I should head into the airport, but suddenly I found that all documents which is signed by Indian side is missing from my portfolio." And I asked him, "You leave your portfolio in the room?" And he told me, "Yes, but the room is closed. I'm in the hospital. It's 4-star hospital hotel." And I told him, "Okay, you should stay there. If you will leave, you will go without documents." Those documents were stolen, and he couldn't believe. And after when we were finishing the conversation, he told me, "Oleg, you warned about this, but I couldn't believe. As usual, I was thinking that you make some colors darker that it is it could be, but now I will believe you every time."
Well, yeah, sometimes it's really useful to be like over paranoid, because at the end of the day, it will pay things off. And actually, we touched on an interesting case. Let's say when we in the business or like in a life, we do have a person who got compromised. So what kind of things we might be doing? Because again, like what something that I noticed in whether it was like a personal interactions or maybe when it was like a, like people who involved in the business, everyone would actually try to, like stay away from them so that they don't like get sick, or they don't get like a intoxicated over someone compromised, because like whoever or whatever person touches, it's also might be going over. So again, like if you in the position of being nearby, how you should behave. And I do believe there's also might be different sides and like different things that you could do. So what might be the model?
Twice I was taking part in foreign Interpol operations, ops, and first time it was in Colombia, and second time it was in Mexico. It's okay to say Mexico? Because
Yes,
I mix
Mexico.
all the time, town and the city and this country, Mexico.
Yes.
Mexico. Okay, and Justice Department asked me to take some job for them, and we found several dirty cops, snitch, and they were given some information to cartel. And I have been working in Mexico maybe for 5 or 7 times during 20 years, so I know a lot of people. And suddenly it was a signal that my head is under reward, is going to be under reward. It's okay?
Yeah, like
Somewhere
wanted.
good. Yeah, like wanted, yes. And I asked, is it true? And then when policemen admitted this, I asked them, should I go from the country or should I stay? And they say, you know, as honest people, we will say you should go because you're in a danger. But if you will go, maybe you will put some light on our people, which is undercover. It's okay to say it like this?
Yeah, you will,
Under
you will uncover them.
Yes, thank you. You will uncover some our guys, and it is very hard job to drill down in those cartels. So I stayed, and after some operations, I was successfully departed to Ukraine, and everything got well. But anyway, at this point, I was thinking, how hard to work on some jobs, on some positions, when you couldn't know exactly how many people around you compromised. From one side, you have pension. From other side, you have bribe, which is given to your family by cartel. And I think that this sum of the bribe could be enormous.
Well, yeah, sometimes people actually would look into things and try to estimate the ROI and maybe consequences as well. And this is how decision being made. And again, like maybe the last stage will be when we actually in the position when we were compromised and how to actually fight back, like no matter the circumstances, what should be decision making or like the action plan of fighting or actually not fighting back, because at a certain point of time, if you're trying to prove that you're not liar, people might be actually thinking that you are. So what might be the model here?
I was working in Bulgaria and in Sofia, and then suddenly I got information also for militia. It's name of police in Bulgaria. It was like 15 years ago, and they were saying, "Come on, you are under attack of our foreign advisors. So better we will take you out of the country." And I was saying, "But why? I hasn't done anything wrong. I was doing just according to our agreements." And they were saying, "Yes, but you could be, I don't know how to say, разменная монета.
Exchange coin.
You could be like exchange coin." And I asked them, okay, what should I do? And they were saying, we have a company which deliver each week to Ukraine a lot of tracks with I don't know how, is it okay? Консервные банки with cans.
Yeah, cans.
Canned fruits like peaches, like slива, plum, and some other stuff. And the name of this company, I believe, is okay. It's name of the company Globus, something like this. And Hungarian company, and some of the plants are established in Bulgaria. And then I was headed in the truck. I have special ways to make my bio needs, and I was surrounded by the scans. And when I was already in Ukraine, I came to some people and say, "Come on, but in this case, I could never be in Bulgaria." And they just asked me, "But you want to go to Bulgaria? Okay, just one country in the world now closed for you. Yes, you are compromised, but is it worth to fight for your clean name?" And I even don't know right now if it worth or not.
Well, yeah, time usually shows. Then the last question will be how knowing about comprometation would help to make this world to be a better place.
You know, now we have a lot of methods like OSINT, and you could be looked by internet, darknet. You could be followed by some people. Several months ago, I have been to Malaga. It's a Spanish city, and then I was talking to some private detectives, and we need to search for some people, and they made this job faster than Interpol, maybe in, I don't know, 5 hours, but Interpol was making the same job for 3 weeks. And at this point, suddenly I realized that if you are listed in some information system, you could be compromised in very fast mode. For example, where you live, what's your document, and even pass from the country could be closed because you wouldn't be able to buy tickets. So you should be ready to be compromised. As you know, I have several emergency bags one in my room, in my apartment, one in my car, one is digged in the yard of my house. But if something will happen, I have several passports and I have some cash, I would just dig it out and I will go and I will dissolve. And you know, it's quite, maybe it's quite funny to hear this, but I have doing this like 10 times already.
Well, and we reviewed the skill of comprometation and how it would be helpful for you. Stay in peace.